with preserving the Gary Oaks on the golf course. I assume all these golfers are really just here to admire the natural ecosystem and worry about it. In any case, I was asked to say a few words, and I will really try to keep them down to a few words. First time I came in this room, through the generosity of Wally making it available for a Green Party event, and I was still meeting people in Sydney, and we had a little bit of a fundraiser here with Robert Bateman, and it does seem, Dennis was saying to me, Dennis, yes, we're saying, boy, did you ever think, like 3 years ago that it would come to this kind of gathering? Because what it means to me in this kind of gathering is, I felt great about the chances of getting into Parliament as the first Green Party member of Parliament for the sake of the country. I mean, hey Ella, it's okay, baby. So, but and to this day, and I think all of us feel the same way, we're doing this for our country, we're doing this for democracy. We're not in it for ourselves, or we would have picked some other party where the hurdles are a little lower for getting elected. But we made that breakthrough here because people in this part of the world, and this is why it's so extraordinary, Saanich-Gulf Islands is not just the greenest part of Canada by virtue of the fact that you have the only green MP in Canada. It's the greenest part of the country because we're connected here. We're so lucky. We're so blessed to live here on Coast Salish territory, which we acknowledge with gratitude. We're here with 4 First Nations in the federal riding I represent. And that connectivity to the land, to the waters, is why we're so strongly opposed to pipelines to either Kitimat or Burnaby to take bitumen crude across our oceans and threaten our coastlines. And the issues that propelled me into Parliament are the same issues that are going to propel Jane Stirk into the seat for Victoria Beacon Hill, and Andrew Weaver into the seat for Oak Bay Gordon Head, and Adam Olsen into the seat for Saanich North. There's no other party in this country that could have a nomination meeting this cool. Because this is all about, and I was going to say, it's about our babies and our grandbabies. It's about Ella. The fact that we've got Silas and Joey running around. This is an intergenerational nomination meeting. Because I really only love Adam because I can't live without Silas. That's really why he gives me the best hugs in the world. But
a different endorsement than that, Alyssa.
I know, I'll give you that later on though. But also, Adam's dad, Carl, who stood up for the Douglas treaties and went to court and established that the treaty rights, and again, made a case that we're making to this day through I Don't Know More. So when we look, at the potential of a candidate and a person who's so rooted in community, serving on Central Saanich Council. This is where I say that I love you for more than the fact I can't live without Silas. Yeah. Someone of Adam's qualifications drop me in and say, oh, and by the way, I'm prepared to run for the Green Party of British Columbia and be in the legislature for the Green Party in this campaign. The minute I found out he was going to run, we're going to win. It's so clear. Adam's credentials in the community, of service to community, through his mom and his dad, through his aunt, through his sister Joni on council for Sartlet First Nation. This is a family that, I mean, I know we're not nominating the whole family, so it kind of feels like in the room. We've got, you speak for the people of the community who are non-Indigenous. And you also draw from strength and culture and connection and rootedness in place that nobody else who is non-Indigenous living in this territory can command. That connection, that respect. And I'm so proud. So we have a ride that we can win. We are running in a provincial election, as Jane has said. Which one of these is not like the others? I mean, British Columbians have had NDP government with Glenn Clark deciding that environmentalists are the enemies of British Columbia. British Columbians have had Liberal government with Gordon Campbell and Christy Clark and the kind of governance that has made people turn off politics. One of our biggest challenges in the provincial election campaign is going to be able to convince British Columbians that there are people in politics in whom you can put your trust and your faith, and they won't let you down. And that's why I'm so sure that if we get the word out and share it and inspire people to get out and vote, we're probably going to be, I think, it's likely, that Adrian Dix will be the next premier. But do I want to trust him with the future of this province when he's not even against fracking? No, I don't. I want to make sure we've got enough Greens in there to hold the future NDP government to account. Make sure they're better than they think they can be. And make sure they stop being the kind of what they've fallen into, which is what I see in Ottawa every day. All the other parties are all about power all the time. They're all about winning all the time. And they've forgotten what it was that mattered so much that they had to win. In a game that's all about power, we need someone standing up for Mother Earth. We need people who stand, whether they're on the Pathé Highway or whether they are, I hope, knocking on doors, door to door. None of us in this country, with a federal government led by someone like Stephen Harper, who has no respect for anything to do with the land, the biosphere, or future generations, who's so disconnected from the very qualities that will ensure our survival or not, and with a provincial campaign between Adrian Dix and Christy Clark, in that scheme of things, we have got to share with the voters, to empower citizens to know that we don't have to surrender our country, our planet, our babies to people who don't care about what really matters. And so that heart and that spirit and that soul for this community, for North Saanich and the islands, could not be better represented than when Adam Olsen wins this election May 14th.